I'm reviving this YouTube channel and I'm trying to be consistent as possible. And this is gonna be my first attempt to vlogging, but it's gonna be a yappy vlog. Today's Monday morning. It's around 4 a.m. and I'm preparing for client meetings and just starting the week. I'm gonna have to list my to-dos and then I'm gonna prepare any updates for marketing. Before that, I just want to take this time to share with you the journey of being a virtual assistant and must-have items you need if you want to start as a virtual assistant in 2026. I started as a virtual assistant in the year 2017. It was my official start. But before that, around 2006, I already have this idea of what a virtual assistant is because my brother, who studied computer science, was already working. My perception back then was if you're studying computer science or if you're into information technology, programming, you're the only one who can work in this field. The only idea I have before was that you can only write as a blogger for someone or you blog for yourself. I mean, those are the things that I've known that you can be as a virtual assistant. So back then, I was looking for opportunities about blogging, ghostwriting, and I created a portfolio, opened an account on Tumblr before, and that is where I tried to write. That was my first attempt to earn online, and it wasn't too successful. I had on and off projects writing for other people. I also earned at that time around 150 pesos to 500 pesos per blog, depending on the word length and depending if they would approve it. So it was really part-time. It was just something that I work on the side because I was working as a nurse in a tertiary hospital here in the Philippines. I would say that was one of the creative things I do. It was around in 2012 when I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or systemic lupus erythematosus that my life turned in a 360 degrees reset. The 10-year plan I had changed because I was thinking of I wanted to live as long as I can, and in order for me to do that I have to change some things, and that includes my career. Well, I would say that it was an option for me. Other people who have this disease, they still pursue their passion. They still pursue their job. There have been nurses and doctors or in the medical field who have this kind of disease, but they still continue working. It's just up to you, your body, and on how you want it to be. But for me, I wanted to push back. So I resigned from my job, and I also had a 6-month period reflecting everything's going on. I studied the virtual assistant world. If you're not a computer programmer or in a computer science or information management field, what other options do I have? And then my Google friend said that you can offer services as admin. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos because I really wanted to know this industry. I was watching this content creator and she was talking about her services. She would not call herself a virtual assistant, but a social media manager. I want to be like her. And this is the kind of business that I want myself. So I was following her, watching her every YouTube videos and implementing what she was talking about. I created social media profiles for the business. And then I tweeted her one YouTube video. And I think I said something like, "Great video, very valuable." And she retweeted my tweet and she reached out to me through Twitter. And that's where we started. That's the start of my virtual assistant journey. So that was my first ever client and she helped me. I'm really grateful for her because she really helped me and honed me to become a social media manager. She taught me a lot of things. She still refers clients to me.
Would you like to go first? Idea or what I feel like expressing. I just want to say that I'm really grateful for what's happening in my life right now, despite with what's been going on around the world. And also, I just want to share this because I was listening to a podcast over the weekend and she was asked what's the advice that she received from the women in their family. She said, allow people to feel the weight of your presence and let them deal with it.
So it's now 6:43 a.m. and I just finished my team meeting. So next is I'm gonna have a meeting later at 8, another one at 9 a.m. So basically Monday jump back with meetings. I saw people always asking, can I use my
laptop, or can I use a tablet, or can I use my phone? So the first equipment that is really important is your laptop or your computer. And people are asking, can I use a MacBook? As long as it's running internet, as long as it's not slow, that's good. You can start with what you have and then you can invest after. I remember one time when I was blogging, when I was writing for some people, what I was using was a notebook, the tiny one, the small one, and it was an Acer. And it works well for blogging. And then I invested into a MacBook, the old one, and it's stayed for me for 6 years. And I recently upgraded 2 years ago. Basically, if it's working, then it's good. The second thing is your internet. That's important. You cannot work without the internet. Third one would be the accessories, the mouse, and then an external keyboard, and also investing in comfortable chair and our desk. And aside from the equipments, it is really also important that you have a great mindset and that you have the values and the attitudes in the virtual assistant space or even in freelancing. You have to have a strong knowledge on yourself, because you're dealing with a different kind of people. You're open to learning. You are open to feedback and criticisms. Being resourceful, being proactive, and integrity. What I've learned in this journey is that no matter how good you are in skills and how quick you are to learn and to adapt, the important thing is how you work well with others, how you value your client and yourself. I've realized that client would love to know your skills, but they would really, really want to work with you if you vibe with them, if you have the same values. That's important.